Global warming. Is global warming a thing? If you've ever heard this question, you know that you are in the United States of America. Out of the 196 countries in the world, the United States is the only one where global warming is a topic of controversy. But I am not here today to talk about whether or not it is a hoax, but rather to move away from the political aspects and dive into the biological and physical science aspects using statistics that have been gathered from the previous decades. Global warming is all revolved around the atom carbon, and the more carbon in our atmosphere, the warmer, thus, our Earth gets. In the words of Wisconsinite David Hawkins, if we build coal plants with no carbon dioxide mechanism, there is no way we can prevent global warming. Though this may be going without being said, the constant range in temperature is not a coincidence. Each year, humanity dumps about 8 billion metric tons of carbon into the atmosphere. And of this 8 billion, 6.5 billion tons are from fossil fuels, and 1.5 billion tons are from deforestation. Shockingly enough, of this 8 billion tons of carbon being dumped onto our beloved Earth, only 3.2 billion tons remain in the atmosphere. But it doesn't take a PhD in mathematics to figure out that 3.2 does not equal 8. Which makes you ask this question: where is the missing carbon? The answer is not simple, but can be broken down. Unlike the common misconception, the human race is not the only species that enjoys the Earth like we do. All around are other organisms providing many aspects to our ecosystems that we humans cannot physically provide, no matter how innovative we are. While we spend our time emitting carbon and heating up the planet, carbon soakers are trying vigorously to balance it all out. But what in fact are carbon soakers? Carbon soakers are as self-explanatory as they sound. They soak up carbon. There are many ways carbon gets soaked, but the two main ways are through plants and the ocean. To start off with, plants are a major reason why our planet is not warmer than it already is. They produce photosynthesis by taking in light and carbon dioxide and producing glucose with the photons. So yes, unlike humans, plants benefit from the current buildup of carbon. But no, in the long run, this all-you-can-eat carbon buffet will not improve their plant conditions. You see, with higher temperatures, plants will struggle to survive because it speeds up the life cycle of beetles and other invasive insects, which will, in fact, improve the insect's chance of surviving the winter. It is detrimental to the lives of plants because it makes it harder for them to fight off infestation. The other reason why plants hurt from warming weather is that it is drying up the soil, causing water levels in the ground to minimize. On a study that a University of Wisconsin graduate, Jude, found out, is that when she opened many 200-year-old trees, she found out that the outermost rings that represent the last few decades are significantly thinner than the inner rings. Thin rings are a sign that trees are undergoing stress since they are running short of water. This shows how the lack of water plays a role in the condition of the trees. Moving away, the ocean soaks up a large amount of the carbon. As water takes up 71% of our planet, it is good they play a vital role in the intake of carbon dioxide. More carbon dioxide dissolves in the ocean than it is given off. This is why the ocean is so important. The ocean acts as a storage center for CO2. CO2 dissolves easily in cold water, which is why CO2 accumulates so quickly. Then, when marine plants are ready to use it, it is there to use. Because of this, 1/2 of the missing carbon ends up in the ocean and algae plants. You guys might be thinking, problem solved. Problem not solved. Carbon dioxide is less soluble in warmer water. So as our air heats up, so does our water, which causes less CO2 to be soaked up. It is also problematic because of the Arctic regions. Because the Arctic regions have increased by 4 to 6 degrees in the last decade, 37% of the ice has melted, causing an increased ocean level. Not only does this force governments to change sea level signs, it also threatens the life of aquatic ecosystems. If sea levels continue to rise, light will have trouble reaching the phytoplankton, which starts the food chain and energy flow that could potentially hurt all animals in the oceans, from bacteria all the way to whales and fish. But what has this to do with anything? Why does the buildup of carbon dioxide heat up our planet? Well, you see, with the buildup of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere, the greenhouse effects comes into place. If the Earth couldn't trap heat, we would all die of hypothermia. But luckily, a balance of water vapor, CO2, methane, and other gases re-radiate heat back into the Earth like a greenhouse panes do. But as the start of the Industrial Revolution, there has been too much CO2 buildup, causing too much heat to be bounced back into our atmosphere. But luckily, it is not too late. There are plenty of solutions to regaining our original climate, one including the way we use coal. The coal emissions is what produces a large amount of CO2, which can be prevented with what researchers from Princeton realized. They're working on a technology that would take carbon out of coal. They would do this by mixing coals with oxygen and steam that would produce pure hydrogen. With this method, hydrogen could be used to produce electricity, emitting nothing but water vapor, making it as clean as renewable energy. Carbon is the essential atom of life that circulates around our community whether we know it or not. But for the carbon cycle to work, it has to cycle. The carbon can't just hang out in the atmosphere. Thank you.